Hello, my name is Thomas Goins, and I started going to church here at Fellowship in 2001. And at around 2013 or so, I walked away. And it stemmed from a lot of anger and a lot of regret and a divorce. And I put everything on God, and I blamed Him. And then I began reading the likes of Richard Dawkins and watching YouTube of Christopher Hitchens and all these really well-known atheists. And over a period of time, it became more of the truth for me than what I had been taught earlier. Plus, it sort of lent credence to my anger. It helped it grow. And I took it out on a lot of people and a lot of people that went to church here. And in fact, they still love me even though I did that, which is the reason why I'm sitting here today. But I immersed myself in everything that was atheism. I thought it was freedom. I thought it was true freedom. But really what it was slavery. Because I became a slave to what I thought was morally correct and what I thought was right. And I'll be honest with you, I was not that person. I couldn't govern myself in that way. It takes a God. It took over my heart, and it took over my ability to think about God in the way that I had before. It made him seem like a cartoon character. And I wasn't about to bow down to a cartoon character. If you guys only knew the amount of hatred in the atheist community for people of faith, it would just astonish you. Or it wouldn't. But you never want to go down that road. I'm here to testify to you, it's not the place you want to be. It's dark. Knowing the light and going into the darkness, it's even worse, I think. So a couple of old friends of mine got me to go to see God's Not Dead. And I reluctantly went along, and I sat back waiting to pick out everything that wasn't correct about that movie, scientifically, historically, everything, you name it. But what ended up happening at the end of God's Not Dead was my heart was just overwhelmed. God used that movie to touch me, and I was completely and utterly confused after that. And I hadn't prayed in over a year. I hadn't talked to God. I hadn't done anything, and I started asking questions, and I started wondering what happened to me, as if I was walking out of a fog. And then I started having conversations with my friends, and I started having conversations with my mother and my boss at work, who was a believer, who just about gave me down the road every day he could for walking away from God. And it was a good thing, though. And I was sitting over at my friend's house the night before a Sunday, and I was telling them about my favorite Bible scriptures and how I wish they were true. Next Sunday, which was the next day, I went to church, and I sat in that seat, and Rev Rick, was up here preaching. And just so happened he was preaching about those particular Bible passages that were my favorite. And it hit me hard, real hard, but I still was reluctant. And I sat in my seat and I told God, I said, listen, I haven't talked to you in a while. If you're there, if I take one step, you haul me the rest of the way. If you're there, I'm here to tell you I don't remember taking any other steps after that one. I remember grabbing Brother Don, and I remember a lot of people around me, and I remember just confessing everything in my heart at that altar. And I remember Lee playing piano. I do. That is one of my memories. But it kind of, if you could put it on a bar graph, once I hit at the top of the peak. Once I saw that movie, that's when atheism started going downhill. That's when I started to question, what was my motivation in this? Is this really true? Things that I thought I had forgotten about God were starting to flood back into my heart and my mind. And I was just really twisted. But it was the breaking of the darkness. God's not dead. And so here we have another opportunity with Do You Believe? And I ask all of you, I ask every single person to do the same thing for another person that you all did for me. You prayed for me. You never gave up on me. You know somebody like that. You have to know somebody like that. And we heard Brother Don just here recently talk about how many unchurched people were in our county alone. And the field is plenty ready. I ask that you take a ticket, take 4, take 5, take 10, and pray over them and plant that seed. And grab as many Thomases as you can, because I guarantee you there's somebody out there, even if only one person gets a ticket and goes and accepts Christ and has their name written in the Lamb's Book of Life. All those other tickets are worth it, because the angels in heaven still rejoice. My name's Thomas Goins, and I'm a believer in Jesus Christ.